Liftoff of Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is clear and balanced. First stage propulsion out. Stage 1 propellant utilization active.
Falcon power is 1 being nominated.
Now, as we swap camera angles, while cloud cover may make some of them not visible, the rumble is still audible as Falcon and Dragon ascend through the atmosphere. And we're about to reach supersonic speeds. You'll hear the call out on the net.
And then chill started.
Now the vehicle. Now the vehicle has gone supersonic, which means that it's traveling faster than the speed of sound, greater than Mach 1, which at that altitude is about 750 miles per hour. We have also passed max Q, which is the maximum dynamic pressure that we will experience. From here on out, it's less and less loads on the vehicle as we continue to ascend. Now we're going to come up on 4 events in rapid succession. We'll let those happen and then I'll briefly discuss what they were. But those are MECO, stage separation, second engine start, and then the boost back burn. As you just heard, we had that successful transition from the responsibilities of the first stage to the second stage. Main engine cutoff, stage separation, second stage engine start, and then the boost back burn to bring that first stage back to landing zone 1.
Stage 2 propulsion nominal.
So as you just heard from Brian, it sounds like we had a successful stage separation and a successful light of that second stage engine. That means that the Dragon is currently on its way to the International Space Station.
Now coming up soon, we're going to have a few events coming up in quick succession. We're going to have the nose cone of Dragon deploy. That's at the very top of the spacecraft, protecting it from the aerodynamic pressures and forces during ascent. Once we get into the vacuum of space, we no longer need it, and it's just extra mass, so we will jettison it. After that, the second stage burn will come to a conclusion, and shortly thereafter, Dragon will deploy.
Once Dragon is off on its own, the first thing it does is it's going to extend its solar arrays. So we can start gathering that solar energy in preparation for its trip to the International Space Station. Once it has power, it'll also prime its propulsion systems. Dragon has 4 independent propulsion modules, and each of them is capable of thrusting it towards the International Space Station.
Shortly thereafter, the GNC bay door will begin its opening. That's guidance, navigation, and control. Bay door will open, and inside of that are all of Dragon's sensors that help us know where it is and help it find the International Space Station. It'll then begin to perform those height adjustment maneuvers and co-elliptic burns that Tom talked about earlier in order to get it up to the exact location at the approach ellipsoid at the International Space Station to begin that process where the Canada arm will begin to grapple the Dragon spacecraft.
And then this is all going to happen over the course of 36 hours from today. Dragon has a long way to go after it separates from that second stage. However, right now, you can see on your screen, on the right is that second stage engine nozzle currently burning and thrusting Dragon into a higher orbit. On the left is the first stage. You can see those grid fins deployed. That first stage is currently guiding itself down towards landing zone 1 in Cape Canaveral, Florida.
So we have about 1 minute until our entry burn is going to begin. Now that burn is intended to slow the vehicle down as it re-enters the atmosphere. If you come in down at those super high speeds, you're going to break up the vehicle. So we got to slow it down so that it can actually guide itself more precisely to the location back down at LZ1. Once it gets closer, it'll begin that landing burn, which is the final burn in the 3-burn recovery sequence, where the center engine E9 will ignite and slow the rocket all the way down to 0 velocity.
You can currently see the cold gas thrusters in the left side of your screen. Those are helping to right the vehicle as it gets down further and further into the atmosphere, make sure it's pointed in the correct direction. And then once it gets into the atmosphere, those grid fins are going to start turning, maybe only a little bit, to help guide it through the air as it gets down towards LZ1.
Now, as we get down to LZ1, we have that onboard Falcon camera. And, we have that entry burn coming up in a few seconds. You can probably check it out here. Look on the right, you can see the first stage coming back, and that entry burn has begun. Shut down. And the next burn going to come up after is going to be that landing burn.
So we do have cameras stationed at LZ1. It's a little bit of a cloudy day, so the first stage come all the way down. We may just catch the very end of it. That landing burn is actually pretty short. It starts only a few hundred meters off the pad. You may not be able to see it all the way down, but we hope we can get some good video.
And when we get that really cool footage, you should be able to see the fire sneak in through the frame. Again, it really depends on cloud coverage and how our tracking cameras are positioned. We could see that, that's a really cool view over to the left side, the onboard camera of Falcon 9. You can see the Earth closer and closer.
You can see it's passing through the cloud cover right now. The landing burn is just starting. That's a beautiful shot of that first stage of the camera. Let's watch it go down to the pad.